Hello, this is Greg Allison with Green Grapes Garden and Worm Farm, coming to you on the first day of August 2020. And our topic today is going to be no-yo-hos. Actually, we're going to be talking about garden implements. And the hose are arranged here from the lesser to the greater, more or less. So we're going to get into what do you need to know when picking a hoe. What are some of the key characteristics that you know it's going to be reliable, it's going to last you. So before we go into that, I'm going to say a lot of people are reporting they're not getting notifications to my channel. So go back and check my videos to make sure you're actually seeing what I post. I check them from time to time. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Bang the update notification bell and click all. You should get notifications. But again, just in case you don't, go check. Also, I'm covering a lot of videos I've done through some time about gardening, about eating wild edibles. Hope to do one tomorrow morning on the lettuce finally. There's one lettuce I want to show you, but it's only blooms in the morning. So it's a oddball variety. And also, you really need to garden now. You need to grow your own food. This is why I'm showing you these tools and implements. If the grid's down, these are the kind of implements you're going to need. So to prepare, you also need seeds that are hybrid. Go to True Leaf Market, link below. True Leaf Market is a source you can get your heirloom seeds. Greg, I live in an apartment, I can't garden. Well, you can grow in your house. Check my videos on the very bottom of my channel. There's a playlist for microgreens. And you can get supplies for those at True Leaf Market also. And you can get the heirloom seeds you need for growing and replanting and getting the same crop back that you planted originally. That's why you're going to go to True Leaf Market. Also, crazy times. If you're not prepping, you better get started. You should have been prepping 2 or 3 years ago. But if you are prepping, now may be a last good opportunity to shore up your resources a little bit. Go ahead and get what you can. Go to prepwithgreg.com. You can still get $100 off a 4-week food supply, and you can buy a bunch of them. Rack them up. Take good advantage of the deal while it's available. And if you go and click on the logo on prepwithgreg.com for my Patriot Supply, it'll take you into their site, and what you purchase there still helps my channel. So go in and look at all the good prepping supplies they have. Now let's get on to it with the hose. Now, here is the one hoe I'm going to show you that you don't typically want to get. It's this short hoe, not because it's short. Now this may be okay hoe for a lady to use because it's, you know, not so big and heavy, but also it's a hoe that won't stand up to a lot of abuse. This hoe would crack under pressure. Why am I saying that? Well, just look at this rivet that goes through it here. That's an easy failure point. That concerns me. But maybe what concerns me most is this weld. You'll find a lot of tools like this where they got a plate welded onto some kind of tang, and I got to tell you, that's a point of failure. Now this has got a really good weld on this one though. It goes all the way around. It's a heavy weld. That's going to help it. I have seen some where you couldn't even see the weld, where it's just like laying on top. But this is a lightweight small hoe. It would be good for a lady or a young person to use, but it's not the kind. It's not a heavy duty hoe, and may not stand up to a lot of stress. I would not expect it to. The next hoe I've got, of all the rest of them, none of the rest of my hoes have this. What you have here is, you can see, this goes straight into the blade. All the rest of my hoes like it. There's nothing laying on top. This becomes this. And you can see no evidence of any particular weld in there. It just goes right into it. And that's good. And this is a heavy duty hoe. The attachment point is pretty robust here with this one. It's sunk down into here. So that's going to be a rugged hoe. It's a Craftsman. Used to be a good name in tools, Craftsman, right? Although most of these are now made in China. That's where you get most of these from. I haven't checked the label on this one in particular. But it's got a fairly heavy duty hand on it. It's got a little foam thing on the end, which ain't gonna last too long. This also is a Craftsman. You've heard me talk in the past about these triangular arrowhead shaped hoes. When I was a kid, 7 years old, I had one of these that was broken off short, but I was a kid at the time, that didn't matter. And I made my first garden, a gourd garden, at the age of 7 with a hoe like this. I took ground, it was real heavy with grass, and I tore the heck out of it and turned it into a garden. And I grew a patch of gourds. And it also has the shaft coming in straight to the blade. So do all the rest of my hoes here. This is a heavy duty hoe. It's got a handle, like the Craftsman hoe, about the same diameter. And it says lifetime warranty. That might suggest that this is a good steady hoe. Now, it does have an attachment point going through it here. It looks a little more substantial than the rivet going through the other hoe. And again, that really is going in there. That shaft goes right into the blade. It's really part of it. That's really good there. That makes that tougher at this interface point, because there's not much of an interface there. It's a tougher hoe. Don't mean you can't break it. Now here's the one I really like, this Razorback. It's got the thickest handle of any of them. You can break any hoe. No stress of break any hoe. It does have a rivet coming in one side, but the shaft does come into here, so it's pretty secure. That might be better in that regard, but I love this thick handle. Also, this hoe blade is very substantial. Again, the shaft goes right into the blade, does so very substantially, and this has got the biggest blade of any of the hoes. I like a big blade hoe. I like a hoe that can dig, a hoe that can cut. You can see it's the biggest blade of any of them. This is the kind of hoe that I like to use. But it was the only one like it that I could find. I went to, well, in the shops and places I've been to so far, I've been to 2 hardware stores and Lowe's. 2 mom and pop hardware stores, so I am trying to shop local. And I've spent a lot of money on these kind of hand tools here in the last few days, and I'll probably go back to the flea market looking for more. But that is a really good, substantial, heavy duty, can dig hard and dig a lot hoe. And the brand on this one is Razorback. I'm not endorsing any particular brand. I'm just here to tell you that that hoe is a pretty rugged looking hoe. And these are laying down on the job. Holy smoke. What do they want to do that for? Knocked them over. Anyway, so here's the frogs. Yeah, it's not dark yet. So for those interested in space, the Dragon Space Capsule just separated from the International Space Station here, and I think it'll be overfly. I should see it later tonight. You may not be interested in that stuff. That's space hardware right there. The ground plane of the DC-X rocket. But anyway, that's not our topic. Our topic today is hoes. So make sure you know your hoe. Know which one you're getting. You need to know the strengths. And I would definitely, like I said, there's some of those hoes you see where the shaft looks like it's just barely tack welded on top of the hoe plate. The blade, I would really be leery about buying one like that. If it's the only thing you can find, I'd get it, but just know it's going to break. It won't take a lot to break it. I got to make these hoes stand up again. Might have to take them back and put them up. I'm not leaving all these tools out so somebody just come along and help themselves or getting locked up. So it's a good thing to do when you invest a lot of money in tools, especially when you put it on the internet, right? You have to take extra security precautions. Okay, everyone. I've got a lot of videos on gardening. Garden bed, raised bed 101. Several other videos. Videos on planting and growing turmeric, garlic, dealing with tomatoes, peppers. A lot of videos. And a lot of them, I spend a lot of time showing you bed preparation. Craig, why do you do that? When you're growing without fertilizers, you grow differently. This is stuff you need to know. That's why into that I do go. You need to look at that stuff. You can always skip ahead if you want to see the head planting part. But the bed preps are vital. I've done enough bed prep videos. I might skip that in the future. But you need to get the basic gardening techniques down for growing without having to use stuff you go to the store to buy, without using store-bought fertilizers, pesticides, and all that stuff. And that's what I do in my place. I don't use any chemicals, and I can do everything with hand tools. I mean, stuff like that. That's all I need. Me and a cat to catch rats. Say hi, kitty. That cat's name is Frogger, by the way. And that cat will go for a rat. Anyway, that's important, especially when you got rabbits and things where the rats want to get in the rabbit feed. So, everyone, thank you for watching.